First off, thanks for everyone for being here today. I know day after Christmas and a lot going on. Awesome to see our fan base, our families, all of you here to support this game and support our team. Huge thanks to the GameAbove Sports Bowl, the Detroit Lions, everyone involved in this event. This week was an incredible experience for our program, our players, our coaching staff. Being away from home over a holiday is never easy, but the staff here and everyone involved in our program made it an incredible week for our players and all of our staff and families involved. Really proud of our football team. If you look back on our preparation over the course of the last month, everything that, in the way that our guys operated, I couldn't have been more confident in terms of the fact that we prepared to the best of our ability. It was such an honor and a privilege to be with this group for an additional month in our bowl prep. To see how important it was to our captains, to our seniors, to our football team to finish what we started and with a bowl championship. We talked about leaving a legacy that, regardless of the outcome of this game, this group of seniors is leaving a legacy within this program that will have ripple effects for years to come. Part of the tangible legacy, eighth team in Northwestern football history to win a bowl championship, to earn a bowl victory. It's a big deal. We talked about that in our preparation, and something that has been a strong part of the culture of this program in recent years, needs to continue to be, and then also an opportunity for us to evaluate as we get into January how we continue to raise that standard and chase down the goals that we have for this program. But I promise you, the continued success that is on the horizon for this football program, a lot of it's going to stem back to this group of seniors and the things that they set out to do in terms of reestablishing and redefining the standard for this football program back in January. Not public can't be public. I can't comment on any further than the fact that got some exciting news after the game. There's a lot of young men in that locker room that are going to have an opportunity to play football beyond their college years. Handful of guys that are verified draft picks in that locker room right now. And, in the day and age that we're in college football, a lot of guys in that situation would have made a decision to opt out. And, if they would have, you can't fault them for that. But you know what? It shows who they are. It shows how much they care about their teammates. It shows how much this program means to them, that they were fully committed to, finishing this thing off, finishing what they started, and sending our seniors out on top. And that's what we did today. Huge credit to Matt Drinkle and Central Michigan. That's a really good football team, a really well-coached football team. Matt, in his first year, did an incredible job. That is a program that is on the rise under his leadership. And, for us to win the way that we did today is a reflection of our seniors, of our guys in their preparation, and just so honored to and excited to send that group out the right way.
Matt, confident are you in retention for this team's best players?
I am so confident in our retention. Christian Sarkisian, all the work that we've proactively done in that vertical. There's a lot of guys that are really committed to making sure that they come back, and a lot of guys are going to have to step up, Matt, in terms of the leadership component of things. But very, very confident in our retention. Excited about what we're building with this team, and also our first team meeting back in January. This group's going to be challenged. We're losing not only a lot of really good football players, but we're losing a lot of incredible leaders, and this group better be hungry.
Kevin?
Coach, you had a lot of seniors today played their last game, and a lot of them going on top. Preston Stone with 226 and 3 touchdowns. Aidan Hubbard with 3 sacks. What does it mean to have guys be able to close out their careers like that with either their best game of the season or one of their best games in an overall team win like this?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. You want to see those guys go out on top and playing their best football. And again, I think it just really comes back to the commitment this group had in terms of their preparation. We had 2 practices before we even knew what bowl game we were going to or who our opponent was. And I'm telling you, those first 2 practices were like some of the most spirited practices we've had all year. This is just a group that loved playing football together. And for that preparation to then show up on game day with performances like that, Aidan Hubbard, we all know, didn't play against Illinois. It would have been really easy for Hubbard to say, you know what? I've been dinged up. It's not in my best interest to push to get back. And that got pushed and he pushed and he pushed. And all of a sudden, a week out from game day, he's back in practice. And then you see him perform like he did today. I mean, just remarkable.
Yeah, back here.
Coach, oftentimes in football, you spend so much time away from your family, especially on a holiday like this. You talked about the challenges earlier. How special was it to win with your football family on the field and to be able to celebrate with your family after?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny. It was really special. Something that I really appreciate about this program, our players and our staff, is how much family truly matters to them. Like, we use it as a cliche sometimes, but what do our actions show? Seeing our guys, seeing Cam Porter with Bryson Thompson and Brock Thompson and that crew, seeing our players with my children, the Binns crew, the Hicks crew, like, it's really special. And in this world of college football right now, with the calendar the way that it is, our families make so many sacrifices. And actually at breakfast this morning, I had this conversation with some of our strength staff and others. It's really hard to find a way to, like, be really good at that at home and also be really good at, the demands of this job. I think the only way that you find a way to try and thread that needle is involve your family. And I'm really appreciative of the people that we have here that prioritize that it matters to them, and very thankful for our players in terms of the model, the role models that they are to our young kids on staff.
Louis.
Hey, Coach, I got to do my job and ask this question, but there's a tweet out there from Adam Rittenberg at ESPN talking about an offensive reset coming. I wonder if you had any comment.
I don't right now. I'm going to celebrate with this team and celebrate with this staff, and ultimately, we went out the right way, and I'm really proud of our staff and our players for today.
Okay, well, let me ask you, what's next in the process in terms of, we talked about this before, you got to evaluate the entire program, now that the season's over, bowl games are there. What's next?
Yeah. It's being humble and hungry. Like the humble part is, like, the evaluation has to start with me, Louis. Like, I'll be the first one to tell you, 7-6. I feel like we should have won, 9 or 10 games this year. And, like, when you feel like you should have, well, then the first person that needs to look themselves in the mirror is me, in terms of everything that, every role that I play in terms of putting our guys in situations to win on game day. And the hungry part is, just because we won a bowl game doesn't mean that everything is just perfect within the program. If we're going to talk about there being a goal of winning a Big Ten championship and playing in the CFP, and guys, if we're going to play in the college football playoff, what should the ultimate goal be? Yeah, thank you. Yes, to go win a national championship. Like, we're not handing out participation awards. So it's ultimately my job to go through thoroughly in terms of everything that we're doing and evaluate if we're operating at that standard or not. And I'll be honest with you, Louis, the worst part of my job is the fact that, like, sometimes that leads to really difficult decisions that impact people that you care about and that you love and that you do anything for. And that, like, that's an internal tug of war. That's a part of my job I really don't like. But if we're going to talk about it, we better make sure that we're evaluating in the same breath.
Thank you.
Over here.
Coach, on that note, do you feel like 3 years in, 2 winning seasons, 2 bowl game wins. Do you feel like you've set that standard, and do you feel like your program is on a trajectory towards that CFP, towards that national championship potential?
I do. You know, and it's progress over perfection, right? Like, we got a long way to go. You know, and again, it starts with me. Like, you know, I think I did some things this year in terms of like thinking outside the box, the way that we were more fourth down aggressive, some of the creative things that we were doing. Like, I think as a head coach, I did some really good things this year. I also think I did there's plenty of things I need to improve upon, but we are progressing in the right direction. But are we going to stay humble? Are we going to stay hungry? Are we going to truly, you know, evaluate everything that we're doing? And, you know, with the leadership that we have with Mark Jackson and new Ryan Field on the way, and, you know, like just so much timing and convergence of like really special things. Why can't this program be achieving on the field while still staying true to our non-negotiables, like we're seeing out of Indiana right now, or what we saw out of Vanderbilt that was this close to making the CFP this year? Why can't that be the Cats? There's a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. But to answer your question directly, it's progress over perfection. We are far from perfect, but we are progressing.
And for a couple more, Ethan.
You mentioned the legacy of this senior class before. Senior-wide, obviously, every group is different. I'm curious, down the line, decades from now, how do you remember this season, this group of guys?
Yeah. You know, I think the things that I will remember most, honestly, come from the offseason, the meetings with our leadership, you know, a certain standard in the way that our guys operated, and the fact that this group, like, we have really, really nice guys on this team. Like, they're polite, they treat each other well, they care about others. But ultimately, like, I really challenged this group this offseason, like, truth is kind. Like, nice is just being nice and patting people on the back. But if you really care about someone, you're going to tell them the truth. Well, Mac Uline will tell you the truth. He'll tell me the truth. Like, this group really challenged one another to, like, raise the standard to a whole nother level. And they were willing to have uncomfortable conversations with one another, which I think is what led to the resiliency that you saw on this team. You know, like, some of the tough stuff that we saw this year, really difficult Tulane loss, and to be able to bounce back, really difficult Oregon loss and be able to bounce back, to have a tough loss against Michigan and find a way to come back the following week and beat Minnesota to become bowl eligible. It's a reflection of that resiliency.
Matt.
Coach, going to the fourth quarter with the ball 34-0, just put it bluntly, why isn't that draft going to Ryan Bowe with how much you talked about him as a potential future starter?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what at what point that was. What we did talk about is we were going to give Preston one more series and then turn it over to Ryan. One thing I will tell you that we, like, really protected, there was a couple guys that we were very intentional about getting out. And then there was some guys that were seniors this year that we wanted to make sure we gave them a heads up, like, hey, this is your last series. Make sure it wasn't a surprise to them that we were pulling them and honoring their last college football game.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, it means a lot to finish the season with a win. This team has been really good at riding the ups and downs of this whole year. And I think it speaks to the culture we have in our locker room of guys just being resilient and playing for each other. And O-line did a great job of keeping me clean all day. Defense, you know, had TNT going all day, so it made our job a lot easier.
Really?
This is for any of you. You know, now that the bowl game's over, you look back on this season. How do you assess it? Was it a success in your eyes? Not all at once.
I'd say it was a success. I mean, clearly, like, our goals are always loftier than just making a bowl game. We wanted to be competing for a Big Ten championship, but nonetheless, like, coming to a bowl game and winning like this, it's special, especially with this group.
Yeah.
For Aidan, you obviously missed the last game against Illinois with an injury, come back and have 3 sacks today, overall a really strong game. What was that whole process like in preparing yourself for this game, trying to get back healthy, and then how gratifying was that for it to be kind of rewarded with the performance here today?
Definitely, it was very frustrating missing those last 2 games of the season. But I just stayed the course, took it day by day, trying to get healthy, and then coming out here and playing with my teammates was special.
Griffin, your last time playing with Preston, what was it like getting out there and having a big day?
Yeah, obviously Preston's a special guy to me and all the receivers. He's the guy that gives us the ball, and to see him walk away from college football, it's definitely sad. But to see him walk away as a winner is we're very glad that we could do that for him and all the seniors.
Ray, walking through both the drills that you were part of and how each of those kind of builds on each other. You had the defense had that streak of 3 in a row, and then also out of the half. How does each one kind of make you feel? Does it feel like it gets easier to get the next couple?
I would say it does. I wouldn't say it feels easier, but with my help with my teammates, it kind of comes easy. I mean, with the pressure that the D line gives us, he kind of had to loft it to me, and then I mean, without the blocks from them, I wouldn't be able to score. So it's really a testament to the whole defense and what we worked throughout the whole year.
Listen, you talked about you credit your O-line earlier. Can you talk a little bit more about what they've done for you both this game and this season, especially the senior leadership and how they've helped you out as quarterback?
Yeah, I told each of them, individually after game that this is the best O-line I've ever had. Not only are they disciplined and do their job very well, but the way they play for each other and the way they do the dirty work. So guys like Griff and Caleb and myself can have a party in the end zone, and so it's an unbelievably special group, and I'm very grateful I got to play with them.
Anything else for these guys? Yeah.
Aidan, being the one guy after in your past 6 years now graduating, what do you want the legacy of this group, especially the senior class, the guys who have been there since Braun got here? What do you want the legacy?
Yeah, this is something we've kind of been talking about just throughout bowl prep, but the standards this player leadership group has set, I've said it a few times, but it's the best player-led team I've ever been a part of, and just I want these guys to take that with them and just exceed the standard and keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Griffin, first year playing, you went to Northwestern and at this level, just how are you feeling kind of after this game with the way the year's gone for you and everything you've accomplished?
Yeah, I'm excited how the year went. It was definitely a jump up from the FCS level, and then just having the teammates that I had and the guys that I had protecting for Preston, and obviously Preston throwing the ball made the transition a lot easier.
Preston, now that the year's done, what do you think your time at Northwestern will mean to you? What does it mean right now?
Yeah, this has been one of the best years of my life. I couldn't be more grateful for the way these guys have welcomed me as a new guy. I'm very thankful to Coach Braun and Coach Lujan for how much they've trusted me and how they gave me the keys to run this offense. And I was only here for a year, but these are gonna be my brothers for the rest of my life.